You see, kama Apple wanataka kuinvest in gym equipment and fitness, they would have just said, because with the iPhone Air, I've seen a lot of like, you can't break it test, it's unbreakable. More than I've seen the specs are this good. Or maybe they are not good. Again, thank God for the Chinese phone companies, because Honor just showed them why their iPhone Air was a joke and launched proper Air. One in question happened is the Honor Magic 8 Pro Air, and this phone is cool. I'm just going to tell you what matters. I'll be fast. I'm always fast, but long video alert. Kuja kwa thickness, iPhone ndo the thinnest na 5.6 millimeters thick. I guess that was the goal. Alafu forget about everything. Nyos nafuatwa na Samsung S25 Edge, and then lastly we have the Honor yenye iko na 6.1 millimeters thickness, so meaning it's a bit thick than the iPhone. But kuja kwa the weight, the Honor is a bit lighter than the Air, and this is because the Air inatumia titanium and the Honor inatumia aluminium. Now from here, the Honor ticks a lot of boxes, starting with IPS69, that is the highest, whereby the Samsung and the iPhone is on IPS68. The display quality, all of them are good because it is OLED, AMOLED, and AMOLED being for Samsung. And then the peak brightness happened no difference in a Kamin, whereby the Honor has a 6000 nits peak brightness and Samsung is on 2600 and iPhone is on 3000. So meaning that the Honor, you can use it to mulika like this. Now for the display size, Honor is the smallest with 6.3 inches, followed by iPhone and iko na 6.5, alafu Samsung ndo the largest, iko na 6.7 inches. Now for the camera setup, Honor takes it because iko na like 3 cameras, that is 50, 50 and 60 megapixel, followed by the Samsung S25 Edge, iko na 2 cameras, and then we have Apple with 1 camera. You see, and kama in this there is kuset bar, and Honor set the bar hapa, and iPhone can only reach this bar. The battery capacity for the Honor is like 5500 mAh, for the iPhone is like 3149 mAh, for the Samsung is like, who cares about Samsung? 80 watts for Honor, 35 watts for iPhone, and 25 watts for Samsung. And let's do wireless charging. It's 50 watts for Honor, 25 watts for iPhone, and 15 watts for Samsung. And then kuna reverse charging, whereby Samsung doesn't support that, but iPhone ina support. Wana support wa charge nini? The battery of the phone, from what I hear, cannot last you a day. But the reverse charging on the Honor is 4.5. Yeah, and you see the only winning point hapa ya iPhone ni kusema, we have Apple Silicon, it's unbreakable, and it's the thinnest. Yeah, it's the thinnest, but if Honor wanted to make the phone thinner, they would have easily done that, because they are the first one to make the thinnest foldable in the world, so that could easily happen. But they wanted to deliver a good product, and like the on paper starting price for the 12 to 56 GB on paper inafaa kuwa 110,000 for the Honor, and then 150,000 for the S25 Edge, and then 135,000 for the iPhone. And by the way, the Honor iko na eSIM and iko na physical SIM, and like watu wengine wanasema tu, we just had to put the eSIM because there's no space for the battery gun.